What's up, everybody? You already know who it is. It's DripGodDero, and I'm back at you guys with another bang. So in today's video, we got to talk about one of the more disappointing teams in the league right now, and that is the Atlanta Hawks. Now, in this video, we will pretty much break down the Atlanta Hawks and also just go over some more recent news that has come out in regards to the Atlanta Hawks. And hey, before we do get into that, I do want to thank you guys for all the support that you have shown on the video. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so we all switched over, as you guys can see, and y'all already know I like to start these videos off by just showing where the team currently stands. And let's take a look, man. As we can see, the Atlanta Hawks are the 10th seed in the Eastern Conference, and they are below teams like the Chicago Bulls, the Orlando Magic, the Miami Heat, and the Indiana Pacers. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if a team like the Brooklyn Nets ends up passing them. But besides that, let's talk about some news that actually just came out today in regards to one of their key players that will just make this season all the more terrible. Y'all see the title, man. Hawks, Saddiq Bey, torn ACL, out for the rest of the season, man. So let's read into this article, then I'll switch over and talk about the team stats and how Saddiq Bey actually getting injured affects this team. So let's get into it, man. The Atlanta Hawks roster will be thinned as the team pursues a SoFi play-in tournament spot. Forward Saddiq Bey will be out for the rest of the season after suffering a torn ACL in his left knee, the team announced Monday. He was injured in the fourth quarter of Sunday's 116-103 home loss to the New Orleans Pelicans. So, y'all hear it right there, man. Unfortunately, Saddiq Bey will be out for the rest of the season. And if you are a Atlanta Hawks, fan, what else can go wrong? That's what you're really thinking at this point. And man, let's get into the stats. Let's get into everything. So, as you guys can see, the Atlanta Hawks currently have a record of 29-35. They are 10th in the Eastern Conference. They just lost to the New Orleans Pelicans, as stated before. Their coach is Quinn Snyder. And let's just see what causes this team to struggle. And let's just look at it, man. So, when it comes to points per game, they are 5th in the league. So they are top 10 in points per game. When it comes to their offensive rating, they are 9th in the league. So once again, top 10 when it comes to just their offense in general. Now, when you switch over to the defensive end, that's where you see the holes in this team. Now, when it comes to opponents' points per game, they are 29th out of 30th. So they literally allow the opposing team to make the second most points in the league besides another team. When it comes to their defensive rating, they are 28th out of 30th. So, they are a bottom tier defense. And it's just unfortunate, man, because just based on what we can see, it looks like they are a glass cannon style of team. Yeah, they might light you up when it comes to their offense, but at the same time, they can't guard anything. They can't, they're revolving doors. And let's just scroll down. Let's continue looking into this, man. And let's see if we could get some more information on their team stats. So here are some team and opponent stats. And let's just, further look into what they really struggle with and what they're good at. So one interesting note right here is that they are number 1 in the league when it comes to field goal attempts. So what that pretty much means is that they do get a lot of possessions. Most of the time when it comes to their pace, that most teams have higher paces if they have high field goal attempts. So Just overall, it looks like they do have the ball a lot. They have a lot of possessions. When it comes to their field goal percentage, that's the thing that you don't want to see. If you got a high field goal attempt number, you definitely want to see your field goal percentage number be way higher, which theirs isn't. So what that pretty much means is that they do chunk up a lot of shots, but they miss a lot of shots. So that's unfortunate. When it comes to their three-point attempts, they are 8th in the league, but they are, not top 15 when it comes to their three-point percentage. So once again, that stems back to chunking up a lot of shots, but missing a lot of shots. Let's continue on. So when it comes to offensive rebounds, they are number 1, so that's pretty good. But when it comes to defensive rebounding, they are 23rd, which isn't good. When it comes to just overall rebounding in general, they are 6th, so that's once again pretty good. So overall, they are a decent rebounding team. But when you look at the other little things like blocks and steals, they aren't top 15. So once again, that goes towards that defense. And let's scroll down, take a look at some of the players, and then I'll get my thoughts on the team. So as we know, we got the best player on the team, somewhat the best player on the team. I could say that DeJounte Murray may be having a slightly better year, but overall, the focal point of the team, Trae Young, man. Trae Young, he has kind of had a struggle of a year. So far, 42% from the field, which isn't good. 37% from 3 on 9 attempts, which is good. And just to keep moving over, when it comes to his assists, he is averaging 10.8, which is good. But at the same time, he averaging 4.3 turnovers. You definitely like to see that be lower. But overall, I say he's been having an okay season. I wouldn't say it's one of his best, but he's been having an okay season. DeJounte Murray. So for DeJounte Murray's 2024 season, it looks like he was averaging 46% from the field, which is decent. When it comes to three-point percentage, 36% on 6 attempts per game. That's pretty good for him because overall, he isn't a great three-point shooter, but this year he's been shooting fairly well. So that's pretty good. When it comes to his rebounds, 5.2. That's good for a player his size. And assists, 5.8. So once again, pretty good. So I would say that he has been having a pretty good season overall. Jalen Johnson, he only 22 years old, and let's see what he's been working with, man. So he has a 52% field goal percentage, which is pretty good. 34% from 3 on 3 attempts. Of course, you want to see that be a little higher, but he is very young, so he has time to continue developing. Let's keep it moving. So rebounds, 8.6, great. That's a great. Assist, 3.4, that's pretty good as well. Now, the player that just got injured, man, Saddiq Bey. He only 24 years old, and it's unfortunate that he got injured, but let's take a look, man. 41% from the field. When it comes to the 3, he's shooting 31% on damn near 6 attempts, which is horrible. Let's just keep it a man. That's horrible. You don't want to see that at all. Now, let's keep it moving. Free throw attempt percentage is 83%. 6 rebounds, 1 assist. And yeah, man, so I'm gonna keep it real. He just be chunking up shots, but I do still feel like he was a decent piece just because his defense is decent. Bogdan Bogdanovic, let's talk about him. So currently, right now, he is shooting 42%, which isn't good. 37% on 8 threes, which is good. And when it comes to free throw percentage, 91%. He has the highest free throw percentage on this team. Now, when it comes to assists, 2.9, rebounds, 3, and besides that, he averages 16 points. So that's decent. DeAndre Hunter, a player that I thought had so much potential, but it just hasn't panned out. You know, he only done played 40 games, always injured. What you expect? When it comes to his field goal percentage, 47%, pretty good. 3-point percentage, 41% on 5 attempts, pretty good. And he been having a pretty solid season overall. It's just he always injured. Like, what else do you want me to say? He always injured, man. Rebounds 3.8, assists 1.3. Other than that, nothing else to talk about. Let's talk about the two bigs, and then we go wrap this up. So, when it comes to Clint Capella, he been having a solid year in my opinion. He's been shooting 56% from the field. Of course, he don't shoot threes, so we don't even need to talk about that. When it comes to his free throw percentage, 66%. He's never been a great free throw shooter, but other than that, 10.4 rebounds per game, which is great. And overall, he done had a solid year. 1.5 blocks. I believe he done had some higher block numbers previous years, but overall pretty good. And let's talk about a Kongwu as well. Only 23 years old. I think he been having an okay season as well. So 61% field goal percentage, highest field goal percentage on the team. Shout out to him. When it comes to his 3-point percentage, 33% on 1 attempt. That's cool. If he only shooting 1 attempt, that's cool. At least he attempting them. Let's keep it real. So let's keep moving. When it comes to rebounds, 7 rebounds. You like to see that be a little higher, but of course they got Clint Capella as well. So you know it is what it is. And besides that, you know, 1 block per game, and that's about it. But yeah, man, like I was saying, this team, in my honest opinion, they are one of the most underwhelming teams in the league. One of the most, you know, just underutilized teams in the league as well, if I just want to keep it real. And the reason I just say that is because they have so many offensively gifted players, and they still just somehow find a way to lose every game. And I know that defense plays a big part when it comes to any team, but I do feel like they could also be better in that, you know, position. But I feel like when it comes to this team, it's about the head of the team, which is Trae Young. And you know, most of the time when the head of the team doesn't play defense, the other pieces tend to follow suit. And that's what I really think is causing this team to struggle so much. Yes, Trae Young is a gifted offensive player, but when your leader of your team, aka Trae Young, isn't playing defense, isn't fighting around picks, you know, isn't switching when needed, or when he does switch, he gets cooked, that can definitely, you know, make the other teammates and the other players not want to put in as much effort as well. So that's what I really think the problem is with, you know, the Atlanta Hawks. Just that when you have a star that is so one-dimensional, yes, he can pass the ball well, yes, he can score, but when it comes to the other end, it's just so much of a defensive liability. I feel like that affects the other players as well and cause them not to play as hard. Cause them to, you know, when they do play defense hard, it causes them to overcompensate for Trae Young's, you know, defensive liabilities, and overall cause more holes in your defense in general. So with that being said, that's just my thoughts on the Atlanta Hawks. You guys tell me what you think in the comments down below. If you have a, you know, team or a player that you want me to make a video specifically for, get in the comments down below once again and put that team or that player in there. Hey, y'all already know what to do. Like the motherfucking video, comment on the motherfucking video, subscribe to the motherfucking channel, and I'm out. Peace.